Ross.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again to Chat City with P. Ross. I am your host, P. Ross, and I am delighted and excited to have with me in the building today, Jay, the mobile mechanic. Jay, the mobile mechanic is here.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Yeah. And we're going to ask Jay some automotive questions here, and we're going to talk about automotive life.
Oh, goodness.
And we're going to talk about Jay.
Yeah.
Jay was born and raised in Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
That's right.
He started studying automotive automotive industry as a junior in high school in 2008.
That's right.
Jay, why did you want to become a mechanic?
I didn't want to become a mechanic at all.
Okay, so what were you planning to be?
I was just trying to find something that I can do that wasn't too hard on me, and that also helped other people. So, and that had a high demand. Like it wasn't gonna go away, or the competition wouldn't be so hard. So I can be actually, it wouldn't be so hard to be successful. So, it ended up being when I first got. In high school when you choose your electives and all that stuff, I was automatically put into that class, the automotive class in high school, and I tried to drop out of that class.
Okay.
I didn't like it at first. I didn't want to learn about how to use my hands and do all this mechanic stuff, and I didn't want to do that at all. But after I dropped out is when I figured out that was actually probably the easiest thing that I can get into right away, and pick a career.
Okay.
That was pretty much the goal, was pick a career. So that was it. That was it.
All right. So you said you were automatically placed in that class. Do you know why? Or
the classes get filled up, and then I had nowhere else to go. It was either that, or I think it was like a Spanish class or something like that. I was like, I'll take a Spanish class. I didn't want to do nothing serious. I was at that time I wasn't even. My head was always on straight, but I was into sports a little bit, and so making money wasn't really the top thing. I was just trying to have fun.
Okay, all right.
That's all it was.
Now, so you said. It sounded like you said you dropped out of school. Is that right?
Out of that class.
Out of that class. Okay. All right.
That.
So when you graduated high school, you went on to the Advanced Technology Institute in Virginia Beach.
That's right. Yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah. They actually came to our school, part of that class. They came to our school, and then I just, at the time, messing around, just didn't, I just applied myself. I always apply myself with everything. If I wanted to do some jobs or whatever, just apply. I think that's like one of the biggest, things that people don't really pay attention to. They don't really apply themselves, and then they miss out on opportunities. So I just applied for that school, and that guy, one of the main guys that worked out there, an instructor, actually came to my house and did like a recruitment type of deal, and I took it.
Okay.
And ended up going to that school, graduating.
Well, I'm going to give you a house applause for going in there and completing the course. Yeah, so that was like a 2-year program. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's you get the certificate, and looks like a diploma and all that stuff, and whole graduation event going on and all that stuff. Virginia Beach, so it's pretty nice.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say Virginia Beach. Now, where that was being in that area a distraction for you somewhat? Because
I stayed in Elizabeth City.
Oh, okay.
And I also have family in Virginia, so I stayed with them a little bit, and I stayed in Elizabeth City. Drove back and forth an hour 15 to get there and back to class. So I didn't really live the whole Virginia Beach scene.
Okay.
I stayed in Elizabeth City, which, if you know anything about Elizabeth City, there's nothing there. It's just a small little city.
Okay, yeah. I know about Elizabeth City University. I'm going to say that is there. That's one thing that's there.
Yeah.
So we're going to give a house applause on that.
I went there too.
I
went there too.
Okay. Oh, awesome.
I went to ECSU too. I don't talk about that because I dropped out of that school.
Okay.
I dropped out of university.
All right.
I went in for math. No, not math. Mechanical engineering is what my what they say. That was my
major.
That was the major. Yeah, that was
okay.
Major. I was going for that, and then I figured out that I needed to know all the maths possible all the maths that they provide. I needed to know all of that stuff, and that's what really drove me to go to ATI, tech school, because I was like, I can be good at math if I had to, if I wanted to study and
if you applied yourself,
if I applied myself with that, but I was not interested in math, so I was like, I just want to just go out and do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go through all this stuff. So then that's when ATI was like, okay, yeah, I remember he was talking about that in high school, so I'm going to give that a try. So I went for 1 semester at ECSU, and my second semester, they put 2 maths on me in my second semester. I immediately dropped out.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm not laughing at that. I'm just, I get it.
Funny.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Elizabeth City.
Yeah.
I do know a little bit about that area. Let me ask you this. Do you remember a restaurant called Tucker's? I believe that's the name of it. Tucker's.
No.
Okay. I may have the name wrong, but I'm telling you, the short period of time I was up in that area.
I mean, what was this?
Oh man, well, that was a long time ago, probably around the late 90s, late 90s.
I was 8. I was 7.
Okay.
I remember Western Steer back then.
Okay, Western Steer. Well, Tucker's was a local family restaurant. Delicious food. I mean,
gotcha.
I think I was there for about 4 days, and we ate there every day that we was there because the buffet was just phenomenal. All right. So how many students roughly was in the program
students? Thousands. ATI is you asked about ATI. ATI was a branch of ITT. So this school was pretty big. So it's thousands males and females.
Okay, so what did the curriculum consist of? Or what classes did you mention the math and at the other school? But
this is automotive technology. So they break it down where it's like you have one class that's dealing with the brake system for a month straight. You'll learn about the brake system. Then the next one you'll learn about steering system. Then the next one you'll learn about transmissions, and then that's how it goes on for about 2 years straight.
Okay.
So there's no, everything is hands on at the school. You working on cars every day, or you're diagnosing or doing something with cars every day, hands on. So there's no homework. There's no math courses. There's a little bit of math dealing with the technical side of things, some every now and then, but you don't have to. They don't like force math on you, and you gotta, you hardly ever have to pull out a calculator for stuff like this. So, yeah.
Okay. Graduation day, 2010. What month did you graduate in?
It was around June or something.
June.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us what graduation day was like for you. You went through all your courses, 2 years have gone by, and it's time for you to be awarded with that certificate or that degree. How was that for you?
Well, it wasn't. I had family that came in. My grandparents, my mom, and everybody supported me through the whole thing. It's not just the graduation day, and it was like, okay, I'm done with school. I'm done with school forever. Like, I'm never going back. But I already had a job at a dealership as a technician.
Okay.
As soon as you get into the program is great. I mean, I recommend anybody to go, if you're trying to learn a skill, go to a technical college, a technical institute. University is great, but you got options. So a technical institute, they already kind of sort of set me up with a job as soon as I got there. As soon as I got there, like from day one, they pretty much call you a professional and treat you like a professional from day one all the way to the graduation. So once I graduated, I felt like, oh, I can just pretty much do anything. It's not just cars. I can work on a motorcycle. I can work on a go-kart, a boat if I want to, which is a separate school. They got ones for people that want to work on boats and jet skis and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's a lot. Once you graduate, you're able to do a whole lot.
Well, I just want to applaud you again for completing that course. Everybody don't get to finish school, or they give up, or whatever. They have situations, but you did it. You stuck in there and you completed it. Yeah. All right. Now, you worked in the field of dealerships from 2010 to 2021.
Yeah.
Who did you work for first?
Nissan. I was in Elizabeth City. I worked for Nissan first.
Okay. And who were the others?
And I worked for Hyundai, Ford, Toyota. I used to work right down the street from here.
Oh, okay.
Toyota. What's the name? Dang, I forgot the name.
That's okay.
Toyota's right down the street. They got Toyota, Kia, and Scion down there.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to work down there. I used to work for Firestone. It's not a dealership, but it's like it's a side shop basically. Firestone, Bridgestone. I used to work for them. Ups and downs through that whole journey, those 10, 15 years. Because I got very familiar with looking at the bills behind doing the work all by myself. You work for a dealership as a technician. You do the work all by yourself, and then they charge that person that owns that car $2,000. And at the end of that $2,000, what you get is like $50. And then you're like, why am I getting less? And I did all the work. So I kept going through that for 10 years to the point where like I was quitting. I was just like, you know what? I can get better. And that's when I ended up here in Raleigh. And then because in Elizabeth City, I did probably like 8 years of working at dealerships in Elizabeth City. And a lot of it was underpaid. Okay. Way underpaid.
Now, out of all of those dealerships, which did you find was better for you, though? Did you have any that you favored more over the others?
Fred Anderson Toyotas, right down the street.
Hey, that's where I got my vehicle from.
I used to work for them. I'll say
shout out to Fred Anderson.
I would say that was because I had made the decision. I was like, I got to get out of this town. Elizabeth City it's only so many opportunities. I had like maybe 4 or 5 dealerships to choose from. So I'm like, man, I need to get out of here and get somewhere. So I came to Fred Anderson Toyota. I put in an application there, and I wasn't even ready to move. So I was always like, and then going through the school and all that stuff, applying yourself. Just apply. Like even if even if you're doubting yourself, just go ahead and apply. You never know. The spot might open up for you, and they fire their best technicians sometimes. Technicians mess up sometimes. People think dealerships are like the perfect place. There is no perfect place for this business. You can mess up a lot, which is dangerous because you have to drive this car 70 miles per hour.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Chat City with P. Ross. I am your host, P. Ross, and we're on Oak 93.5 FM here in Raleigh, WRLY. My very special guest today is Jay, the mobile technician. Yeah. Jay is here talking about his experience as a mobile technician, and we've been talking about his start, beginning as a student and moving forward. Jay, you've been telling us about all the places that you have worked for, and I asked you which was the better experience out of all of that. You made some mention of some not so great experiences with them. Yeah. Were there any others?
What do you mean, favorites?
No, far as what was the I guess worst experience you had with
the worst experience. The
with
worst
any
experience.
Of those places.
I didn't really. I'm I'm gonna have to say Fred Anderson Toyota.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to say Fred Anderson because at that time I was also growing. Like I was becoming more knowledgeable of the whole dealership's scheme.
Oh, okay. All right.
It took me about 10 years to figure out, oh, okay, I'm a dealership myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was also flipping cars on the side. I was also selling cars, so I was promoting the cars. I was like to get them sold. So I was doing everything a dealership was doing by myself. One car by one though, because they do it by the thousands. So I was doing it one by one. So I was like, well, if I can do this 100 times, then I'll be making way more than I make working at the dealership as a technician.
Okay. So you thought about, I can go into business for myself pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Fred Anderson is what woke me up. The worst, the situation that what happened was, it was pretty much about money. All of them is always about money, because sometimes you might get a check. I was working on commission, so sometimes I was getting a check that was half of what it was supposed to be because they weren't keeping track of the work I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was really messy. They had a whole lot of technicians working for him. Fred Anderson got like 50, 60 technicians working at one time.
Okay.
So just dealing with that. And then I was just like, you know what? Oh, another thing. Child support.
Okay. All right. Now, let me ask you this. I imagine being a auto mechanic or technician.
Yeah.
You work a full work week. What kind of hours do you work, and then how does that play into your personal business? Meaning, like, just trying to handle everyday life at home, your bills and things of that nature, and your fun, extracurricular activities.
Well, I work for myself, so I work literally whenever I want to.
Mm-hmm.
So I just pick a time.
Mm-hmm.
I just pick a time when to have fun, when to work. I do more work than having fun, but I just keep that balance, making sure that everything gets done how it's supposed to. I schedule people out. I let the people really do the scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't work at night, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I just try to keep myself safe. So I work most of the mornings, and just.
Okay. Now, according to Zippia's data science team, there are over 180,000 people such as yourself currently employed in the U.S. Technicians, automotive technicians. 3.6% of that are women. 96.4% are men. The average age of an employed mechanic is 40 years old.
Damn. Oh, sorry.
And far as common ethnicity, this study shows that 60.5% are white, 19.6% are Hispanic, 9.9% are African American, and 5.0% are
you said
Asian.
9% are African American?
According to this study, yes.
9%.
9.9%.
African American.
That's what it says.
We're not applying ourselves.
Well, that was going to be my next question to you. But going a little bit more into the study, 15% are automotive and 20% are retail. So you're a male, and I want to say you're about 31 years old. Is that correct?
I am 31. Yes.
31 years old. You're African American. Mm-hmm. So I was going to ask you, what was the challenge for you, or did you feel like you were being challenged being black and experiencing anything surrounding these statistics?
I was an athlete first.
Uh-huh.
I was an athlete first.
Okay, what sport did you play?
At first, from 7 to about 11, 12 years old, I was actually in gymnastics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was traveling all over the U.S. I was really good. Like I'll show you something later, but
All
I was really
right.
good at that. And so I'm an athlete first.
Okay.
Once you become an athlete, doing technical stuff with your hands and having to carry stuff and do stuff like that is like almost nature to me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're saying how difficult being black, is that what you said?
Yeah.
How
Well, the study shows that, like you said earlier, that you mentioned before I finished the survey that that number of African Americans in this field is very low.
It's very low. I didn't know it was that low. That's
Yeah.
very low.
And that's according to this study.
Yeah, but I mean that makes sense. For me working, it was always a few of us out of 20 of them.
Mm-hmm.
It was always only a few of us out of 20 of them. It's not difficult or a challenge. It's not hard at all. I can't say and make it seem like it's extremely hard. They got everything. They got the books out now. They got everything on YouTube. You don't even have to.
Right.
I go on YouTube sometimes. I probably shouldn't say that, but I go on YouTube sometimes and make sure. Oh, hey, is there another way? Because there's many ways to doing one repair.
Mm-hmm.
So some repairs, there's many ways to doing it. So it's not hard. It's really not hard. I mean, if you can put a puzzle together,
Mm-hmm.
then you can take apart a car and put it back together.
Okay. Now, in the study, according to this study, as we mentioned earlier, Asians were the least amount to be in this field. But
I worked with some.
okay,
I had a manager that was
Asian.
You know what? He was Asian, but he sounded like he was from Raleigh. Which I was like, what? And his name was Jim. I was like, how you?
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, I've worked with and that sounds about right.
Well, we mentioned a little bit, or you did, about pay grade. Now, in this study, it says that the highest average salary was that of the Asians more than any other ethnicity in this field.
Wait.
So, in other words, they were being paid more than anyone else in this field.
Them
And I
Asians,
thought
let me
that
tell you
was
something.
interesting. And I wanted to ask you, why do you think that
Why?
is?
Because they go further. They go and get further certifications.
Okay.
So they'll go through the whole 4-year university. They'll go through. They probably engineers. They probably sell themselves short working as a technician.
Okay.
They are very, and I work with some. So like, yeah, there's some things called ASC certification. So it's like when you come out of, say if I came out of ATI, I got my certification from ATI. It says that I've graduated. I got from advanced technology 1, 2, 3, whatever. They can go and get further certifications that say that, okay, you're specialized in working on transmissions too.
Mm-hmm.
That is called ASC. So if you go and get that, they can pay you more for having the extra certifications on the back end.
Okay.
So they'll probably go and get all the way up to, and then they give you rankings for that too. You can get a certain amount and to the point to where you're a master technician is what they call them.
Oh, okay.
So they'll do all the certifications and then come in, and then, of course, they don't even have to ask for more money. But they're going to give you more money because you're more certified than the next guy.
I understand. So what are the, can you, again, go over the certification types that are out there? If one is listening and they're interested in possibly going to school for this?
Well, I can't, I would have to go on Google and get them all. See, and be like, this is, I don't have those certifications. I'm going to tell you that. I went to ATI and I said, that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
I went through the whole school, went through all the classes, I put enough time in with that. I was like, I don't need more certifications. I know y'all taught me as much as I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
I got it from here. I don't need to prove to you that I know how to do this. I went here. So that was enough for me. Mm-hmm. But for people that do want to get further, because they might depend on the employer, so they might need to get more certifications to get higher, in which, let me say this, you spend your time, the knowledge, and knowing all the stuff, and then they only give you $1 extra than the next guy.
Right.
They give you $1 extra, you're not gonna feel that at all. So that's all it's really for. And when you say that, it's like, well, you're talking about this guy getting paid $20 an hour, and then the Asian might work a little bit. You know, he got a little bit more certifications. He might get $23. So how bad
is it really worth it?
How bad do you want that $3? Yeah, because I didn't want it that bad. I was like, you know what? No.
All right. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Chat City with P. Ross. I am your host, P. Ross, and I am talking to Jay, the mobile technician. We're talking about automotive things here, and Jay has been sharing with us several things in this field. All right. If you feel that you have a question for Jay, give us a call at 919-899-9305. We're opening the lines up to you. Again, 919-899-9305. Jay, there's nothing more that I love than that hometown mechanic that can fix anything. He has the skills and the knowledge that was maybe passed down to him, maybe by his dad or that Uncle Joe that passed it down to his nephew.
I wish they passed it. No.
Now, tell us about, well, let me just say this. You've got mechanics there's a stigma around mechanics. Janky mechanics, I'm going to call them. Tell us, how should we pick a mechanic, or how do you find the best mechanic out there?
That's a good one. That's a good question there. How do you find a good mechanic? Well, you would have to literally go to a shop and directly ask somebody, how long have you been doing this? And then still, you really can't see the skills on somebody. When you walk up on somebody, you can't see the skills. I don't know how else to say it.
Okay. Now, how do we avoid overpricing? Like, sometimes women feel like we're being taken advantage of.
Oh, definitely.
Because, we don't know anything. A lot of times we don't. I mean, there's some women in the field, but, we just rely on the mechanic to just be trustworthy and honest.
Dealerships do that.
Okay.
Dealerships do that. They almost train them to do that, to upsell you, to have you saying, okay, yeah, I need a carburetor. Okay, yeah, I need a rotor. Okay, yeah. And you're just going to be like, okay, yeah, the whole time, until the point where you're like, okay, you just okayed $3,000 worth of stuff. You don't even know what's going on. So the best thing to do is to get 2 or more opinions, as many as opinions, or not opinions, diagnostics. Get 2 or more of those, and then make a decision on what's, the common denominator, what's being said.
So maybe before you go in to have any major work done, check more than one.
More than one, yes. And I know it costs, because right now they're charging like $100 and something an hour just to diagnose your car. Okay,
and that diagnosis includes what is it? Putting your vehicle on type of electrical system.
Yeah, they might check it with a scanner. They might check it with a scanner to see if it has any codes on there. They might put it in the air and look it over. They're looking it over. They're making sure everything is good. And then what the dealerships are going to do though is anything that's like not perfect, they're going to mark it, and then you're going to see it in yellow or in red. And what you don't know is how bad it is, because they might fabricate something to upsell it for even more. So they'll say, oh, you need front and rear brakes, and the rear brakes not so much, but they're probably not going to tell you that. So you can go ahead and get all the stuff. Now, if you want a perfect car, then do exactly what they say.
Okay.
But the cars don't come to the dealerships perfect as is. They don't come as in like, you can drive this car for 2 years without any maintenance whatsoever. So Get more than one. Get more than one. Somebody checking on it. Get more than one if you can. If not, then just call me and I'll tell you. Call me and I'll tell you.
Okay, Jay, let's talk about that warning light.
The warning
on
light.
the car. Okay.
That thing how you spending a lot of money.
Okay. Or that check engine light. At what time should we really address that light?
You should address that light if that warning light starts flashing. You should address that light when you're on the side of the road. It's time. You probably missed the time to address it. It's time to trade it in.
Okay.
Well, I mean, as soon as it comes on, that's the best thing. The best time.
So as soon as it comes on,
it goes straight to Advanced Auto or AutoZone, one of the small stores. They don't charge you to check just the light itself.
Okay.
When a dealership would charge you $100 just to check the light, and it probably took them 10 minutes to do it. Mm-hmm. Hook up the machine, check it, whatever. Go to Advanced Auto first. They might tell you a little bit something about it, and then you go to another side shop, and then they might tell you a little something about it. And this is how you save money. If you go straight to the dealership, well, now you're paying the service writer just to write up your ticket before you even give them your keys.
Okay.
They got to pay them. Uh-huh. They got to pay everybody up in there that you talk to, or that has to, your car has to go through them, the manager, everybody has to get paid. Now you down to the technician. He gets paid, what, $20, $30 an hour. So that's what you're paying for. So the best thing to do is to go to the mom and pop shop first. Okay. Maybe go to a few of those. Uh-huh. And then that's how you save money.
But do it immediately when that light come on, so you don't be sitting on the side.
It is a warning. It is a warning. So you might want to act on it as soon as, that comes up.
Okay. Let's talk about a sputtering engine. What does that What does that usually indicate?
A sputtering engine. A lot of things. Something that simple. Sputtering is a simple thing, but you're talking about. You might need a tune-up. Uh-huh. You might need a head gasket. You might need a whole nother, it's so many things sputtering.
Okay. Well, you know what? Take us through. Okay, so before the days of the electrical diagnostic, how did you determine what is wrong with your car if you had the sputtering engine versus the scrubbing brakes, where you could pretty much figure out, okay, it's a brake problem. How do you...
Electrically?
I mean...
Before electric.
Before that.
Before that? That's before my time.
Oh, well. Okay. All right.
That's before I...
Do you have any clues on how...
What do you mean?
The mechanic diagnosed the problem? When they lift that hood, where do you start?
Well... It really depends on what problem is already having. You got to go along with. That's a hard question.
Okay,
that's a hard question.
All right, no worries, no worries. Let me ask you this: squeaky brakes. Now, how long? Well, that's kind of a dumb question, I guess. But how long should we go before we find the mechanic on it? Is it as soon as it squeaks? Or
no, because sometimes some squeaks can come from moisture. Okay, it might have rained last night, and then you get up and go drive a car and just start squeaking. That's the thing. Sometimes it's the moisture between some parts might make a squeaking noise. Mm-hmm. The grinding though, once you start hearing grinding noises, now that's a whole nother thing. Now that's something. It's you might want to pull over, and let's not drive this car if it's grinding. Mm-hmm. But a constant squeak, let's say if it's constantly squeaking and you're just driving straight and it's constantly squeaking, you don't have no brakes on or nothing, that's when you pull over. Mm-hmm. But if it's only when you put on your brakes, then obviously it's something up with your brakes and you might need to check that out pretty soon. Okay. Everything is if your car tells you, if your car's communicating with you saying, hey, I need some maintenance or somebody to check this out. It's right then, if you can, then right then it would be the best time. Mm-hmm.
Now, I have a story. One time I went to go get an oil change. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, got my oil changed, and was planning a trip to Winston-Salem that day, which was maybe an hour and a half drive from Charlotte. or hour, I would say. And but when I was getting the oil change, the technician came over to me and he showed me something, and he said, "You should get a battery today." And I'm like, why? He said, like, there's this much battery left.
Yeah.
And when I looked at the device that he had, to me, it looked like, hey, I think I can keep going for a while before getting a new battery. I thought he was just really trying to make me spend some extra money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I went on and took my trip to Winston-Salem, drove back to Charlotte, North Carolina. Some days later, I made a trip to Virginia. I drove back to Charlotte, North Carolina. And then a few days after that, I left Charlotte. And in the middle of the night, I'm driving to my destination was Maryland. And I get right there in Virginia and everything starts shutting down.
Ooh.
And I thought, maybe I should have listened to the guy when he said get the new battery. But I'm thinking, okay, I still got battery life here. And your gauge looks like it's in the middle of the, I still have 50% of life left. So I thought I was okay. When is the best time to change that battery?
It depends on what kind of battery you have. They mostly last around 2 to 4 years. Each battery. Some of them just 2 years. Some of them 5 years. And it also depends on your alternator life. Your alternator. If your alternator is kind of weak, then even if it's a good battery, eventually it's gonna be, the battery also is gonna become weak if your alternator is weak too.
Right. Yeah, I had to find out the hard way because after I made my destination, turned the car off, that was it for my car. So I was like, you know what? This is not going to ruin my fun. I'm here with my family. I'm just going to get in their car and go with them. When it was time for me to go Monday.
You know what? People think that us technicians don't go through the same thing y'all go through. They think we riding around in perfect cars. No, actually, most technicians have the worst cars.
Oh,
we don't,
okay.
Yeah, we're more so like, we're not going to do anything to our car until it's broke. So I had, 2 months ago, my alternator started smoking. Started up, got the AC running, we about to pull off, and as soon as I get to the stop sign, make a left, get to the stop sign, it starts smoking. Like, that's never happened to me before. So, just know you're not alone. Even the technicians, we don't have perfect cars either. So
okay, I imagine because you don't have time to really get up under your hood and fix your car.
Have time.
You're doing everybody else's.
Sometimes
right?
I'm like, you know what? Dang it, it's all on me. I am the technician. I guess I got to do this. I be wanting to call AAA. I be like, man, I don't have. Yeah.
Wow. So tell me this: which is the best fuel? To buy for your vehicle, because some
the
people
fuel that's
say
supposed to go in there.
Well, how do you?
Don't put diesel in your 89.
Don't put diesel in your 89.
You better put that green nozzle down. That green,
Well, I hear, there's the petroleum with alcohol in it or whatever, or ethanol. There's high mileage. You put for high mileage cars, you put, what is it, high grade?
This is what you do. This is all I can tell you to do.
Tell us.
When you pull up to that gas tank, when you pop that gas lid open, look in the inside and see what does it say to put in there. And you do exactly that. Don't put anything else in it. Oh, my car is running weird, it's running in, so I'm going to put some higher grade in it. Don't do that. You put exactly what it's supposed to be. These guys are engineered, and they're telling you. The car is telling you. Put 89 in me. Don't put 93 in there, thinking that you got a Honda, thinking you got a premium car. No, you just regular gas is what you take. That's it. Go ahead, save some money. Anyway.
Okay. If you've been listening, you're listening to Chat City with P. Ross on Oak 93.5 FM WRLY here in Raleigh, North Carolina. In the building with me today is Jay, the mobile technician. He's been giving us tips on how to handle our vehicles a little bit better. And he's also told us a little bit about himself and how he got started in this industry. Jay, I can remember riding home with a friend a long time ago. I was probably in my 20s, early 20s. And we had to ride out of town to her hometown. And the first thing we did was stop by her dad's house, and he was being that great gentleman that he was being. And he asked her to, or he said, let's go look at your car. He popped the hood on the car, and immediately he starts yelling at her like, I told you about riding around without putting oil in this car. So I guess that oil wasn't where it was supposed to be.
Oh.
Tell us, give us some advice on that type of thing, Jay.
Oil. You gotta keep up with the maintenance.
Okay.
If you take care of your car, it'll take care of you. I mean, I've had people come to me and say, "Hey man, I need you to check my car. I'm about to go to California," and I'm like, "What? You ain't North Carolina? You about to go to the other side?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I gotta go." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I check their car out, and they are low on oil. They are, the coolant's bad shape, everything like that. Keep up with your maintenance, and your car will last forever. And let me say one thing that's a really big thing that's like a misconception is that your car is over at 200,000 miles. Your car can literally go more than 1 million miles.
Wow. Okay.
You have to change your oil when it's time. All the fluids. As long as you change all your fluids, do the tune-ups, do your timing chain when it's time, then your car will get to a million miles on the odometer. Like literally, it's gonna say 9999999. I've worked on cars that are like that, and they still running.
Awesome.
So once you get that's something that the industry wants you to believe that, so you can hop out of that one and they can put you in a new one. Which what happens is you renegotiate your contract. Now you owe $20,000 more. You owe $20,000 more because you done hopped in a new car thinking that your old one is bad, which it's not. It's just got high miles. People think high miles is a thing. I don't understand that.
I was what I just said to you. I was more or less driving towards female car automotive owners. Okay. It's often said that we don't take care of our cars like we should.
That's actually pretty true. That's actually true.
We just get in it and go.
Clean the inside first off. Listen. Listen. I don't even do interior repairs like I used to. A big part of it was when COVID came out. I had to stop being inside people's cars so much, and it seemed like right when the pandemic started happening, everybody's cars just started getting dirtier. They just stopped cleaning.
Wow.
It's like it's the opposite of what you're doing. You're supposed to at least vacuum your car. You know what I'm saying? At least vacuum your car. And we ain't even talking about maintenance. We talking about just cleanliness. Like, so keep it clean for me. When you ask me to do something with your car, just vacuum it out one time.
Okay.
Just vacuum it out one time.
Who are the better drivers, men or women?
Yeah, I'm about to say men on that one.
Men?
Yeah,
you guys tend to tailgate more, I think, and drive more dangerously in traffic.
Yeah, I feel like
you lose your cool more, I think.
Yeah. I think
that's just my opinion, though.
That's true. I don't get road rage at all.
Okay.
I just laugh at that.
Now, you're considered a mobile technician.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much self-claim. I self-claim that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And what are the advantages of being a mobile technician?
You don't have to move your car. Well, for me or for them?
For you.
For me, advantage. I don't have to depend on the shop. I don't need a shop. I don't need a big old truck. People want me to get a truck. People always say, "Man, you need a truck." No, I don't.
Why do they say you need a truck?
Because that's what most people are. I don't know how to say it. They're more satisfied when somebody pull up with a truck.
I
feel
got
like they more accepting when you pull up with a truck, and you're more accepting when you have an LLC, and you're more accepting and whatever. So, a lot of people tell me, "Oh man, you need a truck," but all of my tools fit in the trunk of my car. So why do I need it? I don't understand. I don't need a truck at all. A pickup, whatever, because I'm traveling. I'm going from Greensboro to Goldsboro, Greenville to Winston-Salem. That's far. So if I go and get a V8, I'm killing like my money in gas. I'm killing the gas. So I have to stay, mobile and light on my feet. So I do light repairs and light. I drive a light vehicle, and I just back and forth all day.
That was one of the questions I had for you. How do you handle the demand, and do you limit your list of services? Because I would imagine that'd be kind of challenging to be so far spread within, outside of Raleigh and, going into different cities.
That was a big thing when I started. I just started, like as in promoting it last year on Facebook. I just started last summer. So, at first I was doing big repairs. I'm talking about like repairs taking me 5-6 hours. And then by the time I'm done with that, I don't have time for the next one. So I had to, and then I had some mistakes when I first started.
Like what?
Like getting too far into a repair to the point where I couldn't help it out. Because sometimes I don't carry torches. I don't carry compressed air. Like, when you hear the air guns going off, I carry electric tools. I carry like more so manual tools. I don't carry machines or anything like that. Now if I carry machine stuff, now I need a truck. Now I need all this stuff. So I don't carry machines or anything. I keep it light on purpose. So when I first started, I was doing jobs that was taking me all day, and I couldn't get to my next repair. And then at the same time, I was growing. My audience was growing. My customers was growing. So I was like, I got to be able to get to everybody. I got to be able to do this. So now I'm narrowing it down to just brakes and suspension. I might do some tune-ups every now and then. I don't even do oil changes no more.
Okay.
I still recommend. When people ask me, hey, can you do this? I'm like, no, man, you got to take it to, you want an oil change, just go to Jiffy Lube and try to. And I can't. A lot of people tell me bad stories about Jiffy Lube, so I got to stop recommending Jiffy Lube to them. But yeah. So now I narrow it down so that I can keep the demand at I can control it more.
Okay. If you have any questions for Jay, the mobile technician, feel free to give us a call now at 919-899-9305. Again, give us a call now at 919-899-9305. Now, Jay, you and I talked about the advantages for you as the technician. And go ahead, tell us what the advantages are for the customer on the customer side.
It's way better for the customer than it is for me. So the advantage is for the customers, all my customers. You don't have to move your car. I go to your house. You don't have to move your car at all. I go straight to your house. You ain't got to worry about, because some people, they have a request and their car can't move. So they have to go to a shop. They have to get it towed there. So I take that whole process out. And then I can do it while you're at work. You can be at work with bad brakes, and when you come back out, you got brand new brakes because Jay the mobile technician just slid through there.
Let me ask you this. Do you have to have permission by the owner of the business? Like if that customer is at work, do you have to have permission to go on site? And
I don't ask for permission.
Okay, you just walk up.
I just go up there because because my approach is so regular and humble. I don't even you're not even expecting me to pull out a whole jack and then do the brakes, because I'm quick about it too.
Okay.
Like if I come out and do some struts, I might be done in 45 minutes to an hour. So,
well, you may even gain another customer while you're there.
I gain customers all the time. They walk up on me and be like, "Hey, you that guy?" I'd be like, "Yeah." I'd be like, "Yeah, here's a card." I throw them a card.
All right. What are some of the health risks involved being a technician, an automotive technician?
I've seen cars fall. I've seen people lift cars and it fall. Yeah. You can die. You can get shocked. You can get exposed to, bad chemicals. You can get burned. I caught a car on fire. I probably shouldn't say that. I caught a car on fire before. But it happens. long as you got a fire extinguisher, you're okay. But you know, like I said, I don't carry around torches. If I do, eventually I will have to get that, and then when I do, I have to get a fire extinguisher. So you just gotta be safe. Like it's you gotta wear your glasses. Sharp things come and fly, hit you in the eye. Now you're blind in one eye. So you gotta wear your glasses. You gotta wear gloves. Well, I see most technicians don't wear gloves. They think that they gotta be real tough. You know, they don't wanna wear. I wear gloves every time. Before I'm touching your car, I'm wearing gloves. Before COVID came, I'm wearing gloves. So, you know, I got nice fingernails.
We're going to give you a house applause for your nice fingernail.
I had a black guy. I got some haters. I ain't gonna lie. I got a few haters out there. I had a black guy tell me I must not be a mechanic because I'm too clean. Anybody that say, I gotta say this right quick, I gotta announce this. Anybody that say anything other than positive on my page, you get blocked. Facebook gives me the opportunity to do that, so I take it.
Okay. Well, tell me this: foreign car repair. Is there a difference between handling foreign cars versus American-made cars? Or
for the technician, yes.
Okay.
Both ways, yes. It's different. It's different parts. Yeah, totally. It's totally different setup sometimes. I do both, but yeah, it is a difference.
Okay. Is it more challenging to handle foreign cars?
Sometimes, because the foreign cars they're made a little bit tighter, so the spaces are a little bit tighter. So you might have special tools sometimes, or like really, special tools every now and then. So yeah.
Okay. What is some other advice that you can give us when it comes time to purchase a vehicle, whether it's new or whether it's used?
I get asked all the time, hey, can you come out and check this car and make sure I'm making a good decision? I don't do that because I guess it's not helping, but I don't do that because I've once bought a car that was later and it shut down on me. Technicians aren't perfect. The cars aren't perfect. So you put them together, we ain't got. We try to make something out of nothing, you know. So, before you purchase a car, have a technician fully diagnose it, look it over, lift it up in the air. You know, if it's not getting lifted in the air or the technician's not going under the car when it's being diagnosed, then he could have missed something. So you just make sure that when you get a car checked out, that he's actually looking over the entire car. And then you're driving it. That's another thing. Make sure you drive it for at least 30 minutes. Problems can happen. The car can seem perfect in 15 to 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, turn it off, turn it back on. Now the problem's here. Now it's knocking. Now it's leaking. People hide problems all the time when they're trying to sell your car. They'll hide a $2,000 problem that might, you know, you're not going to be driving this car after 5 days after you purchase it. So, yeah.
Okay. That's good. How do you handle a dissatisfied customer?
Oh, goodness. Dissatisfied customer. Well, they're not always right in my situation. Because I'm the technician. Because you ain't going to be always right about stuff. So there's only one of us. So there's only one technician here. So that don't work with my dissatisfied customer. I don't have many of those.
That's good.
I choose, like I said before, I choose light work. So I choose.
I'm gonna give you. That must mean you're doing something very good over there.
I choose. I handpick the repairs I do. I make sure that they're low risk, so that I don't come into that situation. So, preventative maintenance, I do that as well with, doing the repairs. Making sure that I'm not gonna, put my hands in the, what am I trying to say? I'm not trying to open up a can of worms. I ain't trying to do all that. I ain't trying to, I'll just, cause I get asked a lot, hey, you replace transmissions? Hey, you replace engines? Hey, I don't know how these people get this this thing that I'm gonna come over here and rebuild your car.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't get that. I get that a lot, but I'm saying like people ask me to do everything on their car, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Well, maybe that's just their way of inquiring of what it is and finding out what it is that you offer, what you do, what you don't do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Jay, if you were not dealing with vehicles right now, what other career would you have your hands in?
Oh, I do some things. I do I breed rabbits.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I breed rabbits. My rabbits pay for my rent.
Get out of here.
My rabbits pay for my rent. I got a few rabbits that I breed. You know, they make you can breed a rabbit in a month.
Okay.
So,
this may seem like a crazy. What does one do with a rabbit? I mean,
what does one
do?
do?
Rabbit stew. I mean, I know you can have rabbits as
you
pets.
can eat them. You can eat them. I mostly give mine to people that want them as pets.
Okay.
But I have had people that wanted them to eat them. I have bought a rabbit from somebody that was going to eat it. Yeah, people love rabbits.
Oh wow, that is awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
It's March Madness season. Are you looking at basketball this month?
I want to go to a game.
You want to go to a game?
I want to go to a game, but I'm still having a problem with people being sick and being in these big rooms with a whole lot of people. I'm just kind of antisocial when it comes to like the public.
Okay.
So I might just watch from home.
It's International Women's Month.
Yes, it is.
Tell us what you're standing on the stage in front of a million women. What would you say to them right now?
Don't depend on him.
All right.
You're more powerful than he is.
Okay.
Take it over. That's all I can say.
Good piece of advice, sir. Good piece of advice.
Yeah.
Jay, what are some of your favorite things to do? What are some of your pastimes?
Pastimes, fishing. I go right over to Jordan Lake, fishing. Go to the beach. Go to Myrtle Beach, Holden Beach, Carolina Beach, fish out there. I'm about to get me a boat.
Okay.
Yep. I like to swim, work out, do activities. Active. Stay active. That's yeah. Stay active.
Very awesome. We are at the top of the hour. Our show is coming to a close. If you had a piece of advice to give to some young man that's out there on the street in a life of crime, what would you say to him?
In a life of crime? Don't. Find a hobby and focus on that, and then make some money off of that, and then do it again 100 times. That's it.
That's it. And that's wonderful.
Find a hobby.
Jay, it has been a pleasure having you here on the show. We welcome you back at any time. And how can one get in touch with you?
Well, I'm on Facebook, Jay the Mobile Technician, Facebook page. Instagram, the same thing, Jay the Mobile Technician. That's it. I don't get my number out in public. I don't do that.
I understand.
It's too much going on.
All right. That's it for Chat City with P. Ross this day. We'll be back next Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We invite you to join us again. Enjoy the rest of the week.
Thank you.
Community Radio, WRLYLP.